In this video again we're going to look at the defensive contributions and what is the impact so far on FPL. And we first start with the defenders. Dus I made a list of defenders who have 4 defensive contributions to points, 6 or 8. Now you see now that Senesi and Tarkowski are 8 points, are on 8 points now. So they have 8 points from defensive contributions. You need 10 points to get 2 points from defensive contributions. Senesi and Tarkowski are top of the list. Then there are a few defenders with 6. Van den Berg from Brentford, Ekdal from Burnley, Collins from Brentford, Anderson from Fulham. And then there are a lot of defenders with 4 defensive contributions. But what you see now, and that's quite clear, is that it's a massive impact on FPL, the DEFCON. I show you later on what it means. But for now, you see now, already after 4 matches, Senesi Tarkowski get 8 points from defensive contributions, which is the same as 2 clean sheets. That is the same as 2 clean sheets. And I think if you look at if they play 38 matches, which they're probably not going to do, are they going to get 76 points? Now, they're not going to get 76 points from DEFCON, but I think they might get more than 50 points as long as they start a lot of matches. And 50 points or more is maybe 12 or 13 clean sheets. And I truly believe that, those players, the value of those players is massive, especially Senesi with a price of 4.6. You know, it's only early days after 4 days, but you can see now that Senesi in every match so far, at least 12. Tarkowski was a little bit like 10, 11, 11. He's very close to 10. But already 8 points from defensive contributions. We continue the list. Sunderland, the defender from Sunderland, 4, Alderete, and in Newcastle, Scher and Burn on 4. But I think the list that just like, it's 8 points from defensive contributions is already 2 clean sheets. They don't make goals, they don't do anything, but they will get a massive amount of points. Compared to last season, I think could be 50 or more. And then if you look at the premium defenders, now it's a bit disappointing because they don't get, because it's understandable, because they play for a stronger team. The stronger the team is, the less defensive contributions you have to make. Gabriel 2 and Saliba 2. Kukuraya not 1 defensive contribution so far. Kerkes 0. Aïnouri 2. And Van Dijk 4, so he's okay. He makes the most defensive contributions on 50. He had 50 defensive contributions already, and I think that only Senesi had more, 55. And Van Dijk is on 50 years. But if you look then at the midfielders, then you see now that it's a little bit more difficult. Midfielders needs to make 12 defensive contributions to get to 2 points. Only Caicedo has 6 points so far. But then you have Adams, Fernandes, and so on on 4. But it's a little bit more difficult for midfielders. But even then, it adds all up. It adds all up. I think now, but the point now is, which I'm trying to make now, if you have to choose between Caicedo, for example, or Tarkowski. So this Caicedo is 5.5, 5.6. Tarkowski is 5.5. From DEFCON, Caicedo 6 points and Tarkowski 8 points. You have to take the DEFCON into account, but in DEFCON, Tarkowski will get a little bit more points than Caicedo. So far they both have 2 clean sheets. Now for some reason Caicedo makes 2 goals, but I checked it, but in the last 4 seasons before, he only made 1 goal every season. He's not really a goal scorer. Assist 0, 29 points for Caicedo so far. But I think the difference between Caicedo and Tarkowski, they both have the same price. Be careful with Caicedo, because think about the difference is the number of points for a clean sheet. Even if the in DEFCON, Caicedo is doing very well, Caicedo is a midfielder and Tarkowski is a defender. And we all know that the defender gets 4 points for a clean sheet and a midfielder only 1. Caicedo is a midfielder, he only gets 1 point for a clean sheet. Tarkowski 4. Now, Tarkowski will get at least 10 clean sheets this season, probably more. Maybe Caicedo 15. Difference is 40, minus 15 is 25 points. And Caicedo has to make the 25 up with goals and assists, but I'm not sure if he's going to do that, 25 points, he needs to make 5 goals. Or he has maybe 8 assists, but for some reason he only made 1 goal last season and the seasons before. If you want to play a bit on the safe side, Tarkowski is a safer choice. Because with Tarkowski you're going to get the points from defensive contributions and the clean sheets. And probably 50 points from defensive contributions and maybe also 50 from clean sheets. And also 2 points before he plays 60 minutes. So Tarkowski is a very, very safe pick in my opinion. And also Senesi is even better, of course, but you have to look at the players in the same price class. Now the same goes, and that's even more clear, significant, between Reinders or Tarkowski. Reinders is the same price as Tarkowski, almost 5.7, but Reinders doesn't make any point from defensive contributions so far. He's more an attacking midfielder, a box-to-box. Both have 2 clean sheets. Reinders had 1 goal, 1 assist. But now, again, vital is for me number of points for a clean sheet. Reinders is a midfielder and Tarkowski is a defender. And we all know that the defender gets 4 points from a clean sheet and a midfielder only 1. Now maybe Reinders gets 15 clean sheets, Tarkowski 10 or more, but the difference is 25 points already. But now the bigger difference is the DEFCON, because Reinders will hardly get any points from DEFCON, maybe 10, Tarkowski 50. So the difference is in DEFCON is probably 40 points, and clean sheets maybe 25. So Tarkowski makes 60-65 points only by playing the match and making DEFCON. Then Reinders, 65 points is 13 goals. Reinders needs to make 13 goals to make that up, and I don't see it happening. So if you choose between those players, bear in mind that the defender with the DEFCON and the clean sheets, it's double. They can make a lot of points now. Look at Tarkowski. Reinders has to make up with goals and assists, but like I said, 60-70 points. It's a lot, more than maybe 10 goals, even 10 goals, 10 assists is 80 points. But I don't think Reinders will get there because there's a risk of rotation. So keep in mind, if you the DEFCON plays such a massive important part now in FPL. And I think it's almost tempting now to play with 5 defenders. If we go back to the defenders, it's tempting to play now with Senesi. You can say Tarkowski or maybe Collins from Brentford. Van Dijk maybe, because he has a goal threat too. With Van Dijk you get and a goal threat and clean sheets and DEFCON. And then you pick Lacroix. And maybe it's not a bad idea even to play with 5 defenders. Because of the DEFCON. So, but it was the end of the video. We talked about the important factor, very important factor on DEFCON on the FPL. Tomorrow I will make a video about my final team for game week 5.